Alright, and welcome back everyone to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts playing as the Chinese. And we're getting into it. We're getting into it. Let's actually see, why are you guys outside of dock? I don't understand. Go into the dock. Into the dock with you. So last time we had started the refits of all of our ships, or most of them at least. We got some repairs going on. We're still building a bunch of replacement cruisers, but we are getting set up and ready to start optimizing the fleet, but also start getting to the point where we can start building bigger stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and we're almost to destroyers, so we'll have destroyers very soon, and then we're going to start pushing for dreadnoughts hard. The destroyers are going to be important because they are going to be what replaces our torpedo boats in effect. But also they're going to be able to accompany the fleet as well because they're going to have the extended range in order to do so. So we need to make sure that we get those as quickly as possible. So we got 4 months on those, which is good, and then we'll switch over to dreadnoughts. Unfortunately, how long do we have on the construction of the new cruisers? 2 months, 2 months. Okay, so the refits and the next batch of cruisers are going to finish up around the same time, which is good. Let's also make sure that these guys are on limited so that we can... I just didn't even think about it. We need to make sure that we're saving a little bit of money for the time being. Yeah, we'll start building those for you. And the refits are going to definitely help us in the second war against Japan. Also, getting some bigger battleships, i.e. the Dreadnoughts, is going to help out as well. We'll probably actually go ahead and get another war going with the Japanese before we actually dive into... actually, the Germans are looking like a tasty morsel. Maybe we attack the Germans. Yeah, let's go ahead and attack the Germans, because we've got plenty of German colonies down here. I believe they have one colony. Yeah, they got one colony over here. And then we can take Tsingtao back from them as well. Now, Tsingtao is going to be a little bit difficult to take because it is a bigger port. And I think it has some natural bonuses associated with it. I'm not 100% sure, but Tsingtao seems to be a little stronger than it really should be. But if we can take Tsingtao and we can take Guyana, and these are the Marquis Islands over here, right? Marshall Islands, okay. If we can take all of these, the Solomon Islands, Bismarck Archipelago, Guyana, and the Marshall Islands, that would be great to just further expand our influence. I'm definitely thinking that we should probably start targeting the Spanish as well. That's definitely on the books, but we'll get there when we get there. But we already have some decent decently low, really low relations with the Germans, and then decently low relations with the British, which could be a problem. Unfortunately, the Brits have a very large land border with us, and yeah, that could be an issue if we go to war with them and we're not able. If we don't have our dreadnoughts, we're not doing anything against the Brits. Most of these ports over here are just incredibly tough to crack. All right, so we're at 90, minus 90 with the Brits. That's good. And let's go ahead and continue our refits of our cruisers. I think we should be able to do all the cruisers at once that we have left. Yeah, we can. Nice. And then we'll start refitting the battleships, our fun little gunboats that are way more effective than they really should be. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah, 1 month on destroyers, which that gives us the ability to start building those. Yes, we will build more ships for you, Canada. You keep ordering them. All right, so let's go ahead and get a destroyer design going. Max it out at 850. Now, with these first destroyers, I'm going to go ahead and do 30 knots. We'll go max range, maximum bulkheads, standard quarters. These first destroyers that we make are going to be light gun destroyers. They're not going to have heavy guns whatsoever. The max we're actually going to go is 3-inch on the main guns for these. The main reason for that is we don't want to give too much to the weight of this ship because it's already going to be basically maxed out as is. And then go ahead and unfortunately we can only fit a single launcher on here because that's all we have available at the moment. And then we're also going to throw mines on these. Max out the main belts. Max out the conning, or basically max out the conning tower. And then 1/2 inch. So relatively well protected for the class of ship. Again, lighter armament, just meant to really be able to harass the enemy. Against lighter enemies, they're going to be quite detrimental to the enemy. We can go ahead and max these out to 3.9-inch guns. They're still going to have a respectable rate of fire, a decent little range, and on top of that, we still are able to just match the armament with the armed tower. Because the armed tower here is, technically speaking, we could kind of try to optimize this. Here, actually, let's see if we can play around with this design a little bit and maybe be able to do this. No. So okay, five gun destroyer, 3.9-inch guns, respectable layout. You know, the single torpedo launchers kind of suck, but when we get doubles and triples on this thing, it will actually be quite respectable. With mine layers, it's going to be able to replace our torpedo boats. And these things are going to be even better than our torpedo boats, but we're not going to get rid of our torpedo boats. There's a good reason for that. Because the torpedo boats, they're useful. You throw them at the enemy, they kill things. It's just how it is. So we'll probably build about, I'd say about, guaranteed 50, probably about 100 of these all total. And then we can send these out with the fleet. You know, they've got almost 10,000 kilometer range with steam turbine. They would have more than 10,000 kilometer. You know, very basic, very easy to use, and can definitely do some damage. So let's actually do a refit. I have decided I want to do a refit of the torpedo boats. And the reason being is because I just want to be able to make them a little better. Let's put these up to 30 knots, maximum bulkheads. Let's give them slightly bigger torpedoes, and that's about all we can do with these, unfortunately, but that should be good. You know, give them some longevity. Unfortunately, and I did find this out. Somebody mentioned it in the comments. You cannot put you can't put mine layers or mine sweepers or anything on these. So these are purely just for throw at the enemy, they're gonna kill whatever the hell they're attacking because you got 5 of them. An enemy battleship, for example, can't challenge that many targets at once, and so you just throw them at the enemy and they just dump torps. So it is what it is. But this will give some longevity to one of our most numerous ships right off the rip. And we'll be able to upgrade these a little bit over time as well. So let's go ahead and see how much of a dent we're able to put into our bank account with constructing and refitting. All right, so finance-wise, okay, we can't really build much, but I think we can start with 10 destroyers. I think we might be able to manage 10 destroyers on that. It's just over. It's just over. That is annoying. Okay. Is anything going to finish relatively soon? Okay, you know what? We're about to have a few torpedo boats finishing. I'm just going to let it ride, and it'll suck a little bit, but we're just going to let it ride. And then when these cruisers are finished refitting, then we'll start refitting all the torpedo boats, and then we'll start building more destroyers. Actually, correction, I have to start refitting the battleships, so I have to refit those before I build more destroyers, or refit the torpedo boats, even. Alright, and we're about to finish one of the battleships for Canada, so... We do need to finish refitting the battleships before we... oh, yes, free... no, not this time. Oh, I forgot to switch this. Let's get this on Dreadnoughts. Start pushing towards those. And let's go ahead and refit our gunboats. Should be able to fit that many on there. Yes. Could I manage another... Actually, you know what? Let's do this instead. Let's go ahead and grab 8. Grab 8. Probably grab another 8. And grab another. Probably get 6. Oh, there we go. Cool. As my cat gets on my desk, get down. With the vase there, you are not allowed on the desk anymore. as he jumps up and steals one of my pens. You little bastard. Alright. So, refits, refitting. Okay, cool. But we definitely need the battleships refitted before we engage the Germans, just to make sure that we have the biggest advantage possible against the Germans. We do not want to risk having a situation where we're really not able to... Oh, okay, that's too good to not do. Kind of annoying, but yeah, that's a nice price. Oh, I can fit so many more torpedo boats. Oh, just queue up more. Just queue them up. The advantage of these small, light torpedo boats is that you're able to build so many at once. It's a huge advantage. of these smaller craft. What are you doing, cat? I need to pick up squirt bottles. It's like, you know what? You're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Like scratching the carpet. Alright, so our first 10 destroyers are about to finish. The refits on these are about to finish. Our first 4 battleships are refitted, so then we'll queue up the next 4. Let's queue up a bunch more of the torpedo boats. I don't know how many we have left to queue. Let's... Oh, we're nearly there. If we suspend those for a couple months, we can just finish the torpedo boats up. 73. We have 73 in the queue right now. I'm not actually sure. Can I continue building these little guys? Oh, I can. Oh. Oh. Huh. Are they worth it? Depends. Should I? No. Do I want to? Yes. Ah, crap. Okay, so we're behind on tech now. So we need to actually tone back our focuses. Let's go ahead and do this. Actually, you know what? We're just actually going to turn everything off and let our tech just naturally come in, like this. Somebody, I'm sorry, I do not remember who it was in my comments. You are 100% correct. I need to pay attention more to that. It is totally my bad on that. Let's throw 6 of the light cruisers into Hangzhou. And then we'll have 4 battleships, 10 light cruisers in Shanghai, 4 battleships, and 11 light cruisers in Hangzhou, which will give us that's a good standard fleet template. Is, you know, a single division of battleships should have 2 to 3 divisions of light cruisers escorting it in this era. Now, with the destroyers coming into play, it's a little different, but... And actually, let me go ahead and throw these bad boys into Shanghai and Hangzhou so that they can be matched up with the fleets. I think I'm going to be a little more purposeful. The torpedo boats, you know, again, just having them posted up anywhere is fine. But I think I'm going to be a little more purposeful with the destroyers. So we'll do 10 destroyers. I'm starting to think from the financial point of view. I think I'm going to do fewer destroyers than I really want to, but have enough that it's at least good. No, Austria-Hungary, I do not feel like giving you money. At all. Alright, so, destroyers are commissioning. These bad boys need to go back to limited. All right, so we're actually going to do, because I do want to get some heavier tonnage going on, I am going to do another battleship design, a pre-Dreadnought. Now, this pre-Dreadnought design is actually pretty nice because of the number of broadsiding guns you can bring to bear. So we're still just going to go with the 9-inch guns on this bad boy because we have the tech for it. But being able to put, get 3 gun broadside and you have 4 turrets all total, it's kind of nice. Let's go ahead and also do secondary guns. We're going to go ahead and do 4-inch guns on the barbettes here. And then our pursuit guns are all going to be 4-inch. And then all of our other guns are going to be 2-inch, or they're actually going to be 1.1-inch guns when we're done. And then the hull max out 17.5, so let's go to 18. All right, and let's go ahead and toss on the upgrades. We can probably actually get some more speed out of this hull if we play around with it a little bit. Let's go 10, 6, 6, 1 across the board on the deck. 1 superstructure, 10 conning tower. Oh yeah, we're looking good there. 1/2-inch inner deck, 3. Okay, so this maxes out at 12. That maxes out at 13. That maxes out there, so we'll drop it down to 5. Actually, you know what? We'll leave that, and then we'll leave this. And then we'll drop these down to 1.1-inch guns. And then we can play with the speed most certainly. So let's jump her to 20. All right, a little too heavy. 19, that's manageable. We still got a lot of extra tonnage there. 19.9, 19.8, 19.7, 6. All right, so 19.6 knots. We still have a lot of tonnage left over, but what that does is, and you might be like, oh, you need to fill that in. No. So what we can do is a later refit of this ship, we can put bigger guns on it. Technically speaking. Now, honestly speaking, I'm not feeling like doing that. I might. Yeah, the 10-inch guns are not going to fit here. So we're literally just going to turn this thing into a floating behemoth. This is going to be one of the most well-armored ships of its era because it's just literally going to... You're going to shoot at it and it's just going to not care at all. Because 12-inch belt, main belt, an 8 fore and aft belt, like, there aren't many ships that are going to be able to get through that easily. So this ship is going to be vulnerable to one thing and one thing only, and that's torpedoes. So, and this, building a few of these, I'm going to build 4 total. I'll build a series of 4, 2 for each of our task forces, and these ships will be what gives us the extra tonnage we need in order to be successful in our invasions. So, It does mean we're going to have to slow down on the sale of ships to Canada, but we'll be able to pick up, little bits and pieces here as needed. So let's actually check our finances real quick. We are basically building nothing right now, so let's go ahead and queue up all 4 at once. Do we have... Oh, we barely don't have it. Ugh. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to set these guys like so. So let's go ahead. You will go to Shanghai. You will go to Hangzhou. And then let's set them limited. And then we will turn these guys off long enough to let the year let the year cycle over to the next year, and then that will give us the ability to queue those back up. So it'll be off by a month each, but it is what it is. Secondary guns on light cruisers. Really can't do much with that right now, but hey, I like it. Alright, so we're going to boost this again, 31,000. That's going to be pretty nice when we get Dreadnoughts, because I think our Dreadnought starts at 22, 23 or something like that, and then the next one is like 29. So that will give us a lot of leeway. And then let's restart the production on these. We are sinking a lot of funds into it, but we definitely have the cash, and the enemy in question, the Germans, we're going to be matching them. We'll have battleship parity. We have almost the same number of light cruisers. They have a good contingent of heavy cruisers, but our torpedo boat swarm. Well, we've handled heavy cruisers and battleships with those before. Sail into my waters. Watch what happens. So that will be that. And I think that is a good spot to stop off on for the time being. So, we need to get our tech kind of progressing in a much more natural fashion, because we're starting to fall behind because of our focuses. I think I'm going to reactivate one focus, or... I think even one focus would be too much. So I think we're just going to leave it for right now. The plan at this point in time is attack the Germans. We've got -90 relations with them. They have control of Tsingtao, which is a treaty port that they took. I believe that would have been the Boxer Rebellion is when Tsingtao was taken as a port by Germany, if I remember correctly. I think it was the Boxer Rebellion. But they have control of Tsingtao. We want that port back because it's ours. Should be in our hands. We'll take it back. And then, of course, their colonies down here, while they're not, like, super rich colonies, every little island out here is easy as hell to take. And there's no point in not taking them because it's extra money added to your balance sheet. So it's a case of, hey, we might as well just take them. And I think that will be putting us in a really good position to face off against the Japanese in a second war. It's going to be 3 wars to take out the Japanese. The first war was kind of just a hit them, put them back a little bit in terms of their forces, take Okinawa. If we could take Shikaku, we can, but we didn't end up taking it. The second war is going to be taking Shikaku and Hokkaido. And then the third war, when we have Dreadnoughts available that are going to be able to really up the ante with their tonnage, that's when Honshu and Kyushu become a possibility. So we will get back to that in the next episode. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.